It's all of it on WNYC. I'm David First. Discovering the treasure among some people's cast-offs, or at least searching for it, is a beloved tradition in America. Garage sales, estate sales, and thrift stores can have a nostalgic Americana feel to them. They can also inspire our curiosity. Where do these items come from? How old are they? Why were they given up? And will I finally find that pristine original mono vinyl copy of Sgt. Pepper somewhere at the back of that rack? Okay. Katie Weaver is here to explore this phenomenon and the history of garage sales with us today. She did all of this in a recent piece for The Atlantic called The Whimsy and Heartbreak of America's Garage Sales. And she argues that we can learn a lot about who we are from the stuff that we buy. Katie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And callers, we want to hear from you as well if you want to join this conversation. What's the best thing you ever found at a yard sale? Where do you go for yard sales? Give us a call, 212-433-9692. That's 212-433-WNYC. And Katie, what set you off here? What inspired this deep dive into garage sales?
Ooh, well, I'm always shopping them in my free time anyway.
A lifetime is what set you up for this.
Oh, yes. A bit, birth is what set me off on this path. Being the daughter of the cheapest woman in the world is what set me off on this path. And my editors at The Atlantic wanted me for our July issue to write, kind of an essay about just something I really love about America. And the first thing that popped into my head was other people's trash. Anything that someone's trying to get rid of. That's what I love. That's what my home is filled with. That's what my body is clothed in. I just love other people's junk. I love it so much. And I love saving money. I love getting a good deal. That's really my addiction. So I'm so excited to hear what people call in and talk about.
You mentioned why you love it so much. Why do Americans love garage sales? Is it just what you're talking about, or are there some other categories?
I think a lot of it is cheapness, but also just, kind of as you alluded to, the thrill of the hunt, the idea that someone might be throwing away a priceless painting and you're the one who recognizes it and now you're a millionaire.
Right. You'll be on Antiques Roadshow in another week.
Exactly. The thing is, that really does happen sometimes. That's what's so crazy about it, is it actually can happen. But even if it doesn't, I think you can still have a lot of fun. And saving money, even though, if you're going to them as often as I am, are you really saving money if you're constantly shopping at garage sales? That's a question for my husband to ask, not for me to ponder.
I see. Okay. If you want to join this conversation with your thoughts about garage sales and the appeal of garage sales, 212-433-9692. So for this particular piece, where did you go? How did you go about doing your research?
So I used to live in New York, but I am now in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is, New Yorkers, take a trip out to New Mexico. It is fabulous for secondhand shopping because a lot of very cool elderly people retire here and then die, and so you get all their cool stuff. So I went to yard sales around my home. I stopped at a town called Bernalillo, and I went to an estate sale there. I went to thrift stores. But really, I was just doing what I would be doing if I weren't writing about it every single weekend. And this time I got to, expense my gas for work. So that was nice.
So for your piece, you set out to see what you could get secondhand with $100 in your pocket. Did you have a particular shopping list in mind, or just seeing what called out to you?
Oh, no, never. I have so much junk in my home. Anything I could ever possibly need, surely I already own it. So I don't shop with a list in mind. So I really just wanted to see, what catches my eye. And I got to say, I think I did fantastically well because I got a lot of things that people were just giving away for free, which was nice, And sometimes they were even things that someone had put, I think, a 25-cent sticker on like an open jewelry cleaner. And I was like, oh, do you really want to fuss with the coins? And she said, oh, no, just take it. So you negotiated it down to free. Amazing.
Just
Highway
take
robbery.
it. Well, a lot of times people have reached their limit of how long they can keep this stuff in their homes. This stuff takes up a lot of space, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's one thing that I was really interested to learn as I was researching this story was that there's, kind of a theory that as Americans moved to the suburbs and their homes got bigger, that is actually when they needed to have garage sales, because when they were living in small apartments, as of course many New Yorkers do, they you couldn't accumulate too many extra things. There was not space to do it. So once you have space, then you fill your home with junk and you need to have a yard sale
Not junk, great stuff.
with treasures.
With treasures. If you want to join this conversation, let's take a call right now. 212-433-9692. Vincent in Warren, New Jersey. Welcome.
Hey, good afternoon. The most amazing thing I've ever found at a garage sale, like your guest just said, the family was downsizing. Their sons had grown, and they were moving out. And the woman, I just happened to mention that, her barn would be a great recording studio. She goes, "Are you a musician?" I said, "Yes." She goes, "Well, I have a drum set upstairs that I'm trying to, offload because my sons don't play." It was a beautiful Gretsch drum set.
Ooh.
And I still play it to this day.
Whoa.
Ooh, amazing.
An amazing find that you do need a lot of space and tolerant neighbors to to bring into your life, right? That's a great one, Vincent. Thank you so much for calling in. And, I wanted to read, by the way, before we get any further, Katie, the subtitle of your piece is, "For $100, I bought bric-a-brac that explains a nation."
Okay.
So now I'm going to put you, explain the nation.
Oh, okay. You know what? I hadn't even read the subtitle on my piece. But I will say, what I learned, we are a nation that loves Christmas decorations, that travels abroad and collects little items that we then have no use for. I got some free German beer coasters, like tons of them. We are a nation that, uses most of a bottle of nail polish and says, "I can't throw this away. Someone else could get some use out of this." So we donate that. And then I'm the sicko who buys that open bottle of nail polish. You're right. I can get some use out of that. So I think it's what I sort of love about thrifting and what really touches me about it is like, all this stuff could have just gone in the trash, but people are saying, no, maybe someone else could use it. So I think that, it's very optimistic to donate your things to a thrift store or even to try to sell them to other people. There's just a hopefulness that, oh, no, maybe I can keep them out of the landfill for like one more person. And I think that's really nice. Is it always true? Maybe not. But people are hoping that they can keep it out of a landfill.
Let us know what you have found at a garage sale. What is the appeal of garage sales to you? 212-433-9692. You can call or text. And we have this great text. Listen to this one. "Went to a great yard sale in Woodstock many years ago. Told the owner, 'This is a great yard sale.' Well, she said, 'The house is for sale too.' And we bought it."
Oh, cute. I love that. Well, I think I said I'm like addicted to a good deal, but I can really get just a contact high from hearing about someone else getting a good deal. I like hearing about other people's yard sale finds almost as much as I love going to yard sales myself and buying things. It's a double-edged sword because I love it, but it's also like, if I had been there, I could have gotten that. Maybe I'd be living in Woodstock. Maybe I could have gotten that house.
And I'll take another call in just a second, but you describe in this piece the journey beginning with whimsy and high spirits, but it ending up feeling a little darker and weirder as it went along. Can you talk about some of the emotions that you went through working on the piece?
Oh, yes. Well, I think inevitably, especially when you're dealing with estate sales, which are, generally it's kind of the entire contents of someone's home. So really someone's life. And now all of a sudden you're allowed to just go into their home and paw through all their belongings, which I would love to do with all my neighbors, but they're alive. They don't want me to do that.
Wow.
So you're doing it with a dead stranger, they'll just let you right in. And as I'm doing it, I think you inevitably, it's a memento mori moment. Like you think, God, one day all my stuff is strangers are going to be pawing through it. And I also think, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff for strangers to paw through. And one thing that I'm a bit of a sucker for is, any kind of anything that's like really obviously handmade or hand embroidered or little sort of keepsakes like wedding invitations or family photos. But it's like I can't buy every family photo because there are so many of them. But it's very...
I find it fascinating you would buy other people's family photos.
If it's a great picture, absolutely, I will. I'll buy anything. I'll buy anything.
Wow, I know who to set up a garage sale next to. If I want want to have a lot of success. By the way, we're speaking with Katie Weaver, a writer for The Atlantic. She has a piece called The Whimsy and Heartbreak of America's Garage Sales. And let's take some more of your calls, 212-433-9692. Madeline from Seacliff, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. So my dad is an avid yard sailor, and one time he and my mom attended a sale on the East End. Every weekend they would get the newspaper and look for the sales, and he attended a sale, and there was a stack of artwork in the corner, and he didn't have time to go through it all, but he bought the entire stack, having only looked at one or two pieces. He paid fewer than $100, and when he got home, he found 4 signed Salvador Dali prints in the stack.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Did he keep them or did he sell them?
No, he kept them, and I am one of 4. I have 3 siblings, so he said, one day you'll each get one of them.
Oh my gosh, that's the dream. Wow, your father lived everyone's fantasy. That's amazing.
That is great, Madeline. Thank you so much for that story. That's going to keep you shopping at garage sales for for decades. We have a text here. Coolest thing I ever got at a garage sale was an autographed photo of Joe Namath for $10, even though I'm a lifelong Giants fan. I had the signature authenticated and it was real. Bonus was it was inscribed to someone named Steve, and my name is Steve.
Oh, that's a good one.
Signed Steve from Lynbrook.
From Joe Namath's personal friend, Steve, as evidenced by this photo.
As evidenced by this photo. And let's take another call. Candace from Montclair, New Jersey. Welcome. Oh, hello. Is Candace there? Maybe.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm
Welcome.
here, yes.
Do you have a garage sale story?
Yeah, we do. Our family loves garage sales. It becomes when it's in season, it becomes our sort of morning activity on Saturday mornings. I have 2 daughters, and it's probably the only way we drag them out of bed early. And so we, often go out in the spring and the fall and try to find little treasures. I call it treasure hunting to entice them. And one of the most memorable things that we have found is a bag of these very peculiar little baby dolls. They're like a plastic toy, and there's like maybe 30 of them. And the way the story was told to me by...
Oh, I think we might have lost Candace. Are you still there?
Oh, I'm dying to hear about these baby dolls. I hope we didn't lose her.
Well, maybe we could have Candace, if you can hear us, try to call back so we're not left with that cliffhanger of the dolls there. We'll see if we can get Candace back on. But let's hear from Stacy on the Upper East Side. Welcome to all of it. Stacy, are you with us?
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Hi. I grew up in New Jersey, and as a 7-year-old or something like that, I used to take all the stuff out of my room that I didn't want and put it on the hood of our car in the driveway. We had one of those big hooded cars back in the day, and I would just, sell to the neighborhood kids whatever I could. And, now I live in the city, and, I wish, I could, just put a table in front of my building and bring out all my stuff because I have a lot to sell, but I do buy nothing, and I thrift, and I give away, and I sell on eBay. So always looking for opportunities to rehome my stuff and look for other stuff that I can then eventually rehome some other time.
That's great. Thank you so much for calling and joining the conversation. And I believe Candace is back. Candace, are you with us? Could you finish telling us about the dolls? We need to know.
Hi. Yes, I am back. I don't know what happened. So the way the story was told to me, there's a woman who was there are a lot of people in Montclair who are in film and TV, and she was a stylist or a set designer, and she somehow knew Brooke Shields' grandmother. And she told me that these dolls were a favorite toy of Brooke Shields, and she used to play with Michael Jackson when she was little. And so as far as we know, these toys were, a prized possession of Brooke Shields, and which she shared with Michael Jackson. And so one of these days I'm going to reach out to her and hope to find out if that story is actually true.
Oh my God. Thank you for calling back. I did not see that coming. That's incredible.
That's great. Thank you so much for that. And let's take another call. Sadie from the Upper West Side, welcome to All of It.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. Katie, I'm a big fan of your writing, and as a third-generation tag sailor, I am thrilled to hear you talking about this. So I just wanted to call and talk about the single most legendary epic sail I ever went to. Also out east on the East End. This was in East Hampton, and it was the contents of Grey Gardens after Sally Quinn sold it.
Oh,
so,
my Lord.
Yes, exactly. So in storage, I have one of the beds from Grey Gardens, but one of the Beals beds, and on my wall, I have a Lord's Prayer from the Beals bedroom. And on my beds, I now have several sets of Porto sheets gotten for, well, I won't say, but single-digit numbers, which belong to Sally Quinn, not the Beals. So all in all, untoppable in my experience.
Well, that was going to be my question, how things were priced. So the prices were sounds like they were pretty good.
Oh, by the end of the second day, I'm telling you, they were just priced to move.
It
was
God.
The dream.
I love to hear that, and I hate to hear
dream.
that. You live my dream.
You win. Price to move. I love it. We have a lot of calls coming through right now. Let's see if we could get to another one or two. Oh, let's see. Nancy in Westchester, welcome to All of It. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Well, it wasn't a tag sale. It was actually an little antique show at the local church a mile from my house in Westchester. And I'm just wandering around, and I randomly pick up a pile of old family photographs, which somebody earlier was talking about. Mm-hmm. And there were my great-great-grandparents. I am the family genealogist, so
Whoa.
I knew what I was looking at. And it was just gave me goosebumps that how did this random person, my great-great-grandparents lived in New Haven, Connecticut, which is not that far, but, like an hour away from where I was. But just what are the odds of my picking up this random pile of pictures and it being them I still get goosebumps thinking about this.
You are probably one of the only people on earth who would even recognize their great-great-grandparents. If mine walked in my house right now, I wouldn't know who they were.
That's an incredible story, and I think we'll have to leave it there. Where could we go from that? I mean, that's incredible. Any last thought about garage sales as we wrap up this conversation?
Oh, my God. This has just made me want to go out to one right now. I wish there were a garage sale happening in the middle of this Wednesday afternoon. I love hearing about them. I'm so glad everyone was able to save some money while spending money.
Save some money while spending money and search for those treasures we know they're out there waiting.
They're out there.
They're out there. Katie Weaver's piece in The Atlantic is called The Whimsy and Heartbreak of America's Garage Sales. Katie, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.